All right, hello everyone. Now you can hear my microphone, and I hope that you enjoyed the movie. Sorry for the little bit of the crossover with the lobby music I still had playing during the first part of that movie. Uh, we have a couple people hanging out here. Well, shout outs to you all. Thank you. But in order to keep things moving and grooving, we are going to hop right into. We're gonna hop right into the game here. Make sure that is this has it finally happened that my Roll20 is derped out musically. That would make me sad. Let's give it another try. Yep, it's not playing music. Why? Why? I want my background music, please. Roll20. Can I has?
I hear it on my side.
Is it coming through? It's not
Yeah.
playing for me.
Do you have your tab muted or something?
No, I don't.
Might be your master volume is very low.
No, the bar's not filling up, and it has dot 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 out of dot 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 playing.
Oh, because I was about to say it's playing for me.
Well, I'm gonna fix this right quick. Hang on a second, everyone. Back to the lobby with you. I banish you while I do something in the background because there's certain musical cues and things I want to listen to as well. So, hold on. You go back there. Get back, y'all. Go and get you varmints. Let's get a new tab. Let's do this. Let's go to Roll20. Let's launch the game. Plus, since it's not coming through on my end, it's not coming through to chat through OBS. There we go. Now we're getting Now we're getting that growling sound. Okay. Well, there we go, everyone. So, welcome to one last day, and in fact, I am very happy. I'm very happy to announce that Clyde is no longer a wiggly tombstone. I'm gonna fix that. And then I'm going to make sure that the proper feed is... There we go. All right. Hey. We have our 4 players for tonight's grand finale of One Last Day. Yeah, tech issues. It's just another. The Tuesday is cursed. It is what it is, and that's fine. But you know what? Let's have a lot of fun. Let's see what happens here on the back 9 of our game. We'll go down the line here with Macabre Derek, who's going to be piloting Mr. Pitch tonight. Derek, is there anything that you would like to say that is notable? Last words, advice, or you want to hold up some sort of sign like Wile E. Coyote before you inevitably fall off the cliff after recognizing that gravity exists?
Well then, if I had to end up making a statement to the young ones, to end up being sure that they understand the position that they're in a way that they can understand rather than using a dialect of old, I would simply end up telling them, keep calm, preserve the masquerade.
That is very good advice that all vampires should follow. Ugh, I wish that should was not as variable as it is. And then thank you, Raven, for the shout out to Derek, who does also He's played a game or two of VTM in his day, so make sure you go over and give
I
him a
might
look.
be known to do so once in a while.
He's lurked. Next up, we have Spectre Deflector, who will be piloting Clyde. Specs, is there anything that you would like to say as you, or in your preparedness for resuming your role as Clyde McCoy?
What else can I say? I'm gonna let it ride.
Now you do have a vampire game that you have also assembled. Is there a link to that you would like to put over in chat? You're welcome to advertise.
Oh my god, yes.
Although Raven has to give you permission, otherwise the bot will nuke you.
So yes, I do a web show that is usually posted twice monthly. It is called Emerald City Sanguine Solstice, and it is a not necessarily a live stream, but just a web show, recorded sessions that I and a group of well-loved players get together and do. And this is an ongoing chronicle. We're only on episode, I believe, 2 so far that's been posted. So I'll go ahead and post a link to the drive for that. It's open to anyone who has access to the link, and you are welcome to check it out.
All right, Raven, do the thing.
On it.
And while she is doing that for... Oh no! Specs got nuked. There we go.
I've been denied.
Go ahead after your 6-second timeout. Go ahead and you can repost that link.
Got it. All right, and in a couple minutes, like a minute or two.
Well, no, yep, there we go. All right, Raven's on it. Now, of course, Raven's stepping up here, wielding the sword of moderation, and I appreciate that. Raven, if you would like to talk a little bit about who you are and what you do, and what you might be feeling as Ivy.
At this point, just bring the chaos.
Okay.
It's needed tonight.
I will do the honors to give you the shout out, so you don't have to feel like, I'm shouting myself out. That's dumb. So be sure to go over and give Ravenstar a look. She does play a lot of Dead by Daylight. You'll also see her lurking around Coffee Cat and Derek's channels as well. And then moving on down the line here, we have Blue Joy piloting Rose the Gangrel. Blue Joy, any news or notes, things that you would like to bring up, or are you doing any streaming or any other games or things that you'd like to bring up here?
No plans to do any streaming in the near future. I did so in the past, but it's been a while.
Okay.
Just being sick and stay at home and doing D&D prep for my friends.
And I will make sure to for tonight to remember that you are down with the sickness. So I'll make sure to keep things moving along and not require hour-long soliloquies from Rose the Gangrel.
Very much appreciated.
I know you built her as a super social gangrel, but you know it. All right. Well. So you all can also see a little blurb that has been updated since last time. Just little factoids about each of the characters here. For example, Mr. Pitch is a very brisk runner, we learned from last session. And we'll make our way from this screen, very ominous. Clearly there's no symbolism or foreshadowing or anything along those lines. It was purely a random internet find. For a spooky game of Vampire the Masquerade. And now we come over to Cleveland. We are in Cleveland, though we're not really worried about the sheriff, the keeper, or Prince Amias Bradstreet right now. The current events are happening because of these elders, these rulers within the city. The cream of the crop rise to the top, the ones who are the movers and shakers in the shadows, and who have sent out these neonates, fledglings, somewhere in between, in order to go do some very important things and very quickly. There was some confusion even in the upper echelons of kindred society in Cleveland. However, a good neonate does what is asked of them, and that required being, staked, dumped into body bags, and driven in a Krispy Kreme van to the location of where Clyde is? Well, is now. Maybe a was, but now is and is. Good upgrade, good promotion. Though, it should be mentioned that while getting Clyde is all nice and good, ideally, any information that he gave up or was recorded about him is destroyed or even recovered and brought back. Clyde is certainly a vampire in Cleveland, and that counts for something. But primarily, the mission involves making sure that the data, any that might exist about Clyde, is taken care of from these people who are not of kindred society. And clearly, none of you would want to betray the trust of Prince Amias Bradstreet, Sheriff Kozad, or the lovely Keeper of Elysium, Charity Dunham, let alone some others, or in particular Rose, your sire, who is a herald in the court of Cleveland. You have a very special bond with him as well, and you don't want to let him down. That would make you feel pretty bad and itchy. All right. Well, a lot of things happened, and quite frankly, we're going to pick up where we left off. The four are in a dark room of some place that is presumably underground. There are tunnels, there's lab stuff, there was a big ol' incinerator. There may have been a monstrosity beyond belief lurking in the corridors. However, brave Mr. Pitch made a very good show of dealing with that situation and clearly rescuing the coterie by taking them through some doors off the lab where Clyde was stored and safely behind some sort of bulletproof glass and a metal doors that closed behind. The four find themselves in a dark room, huddled around the flashlight on Mr. Pitch's burner phone. And we left off here with that light revealing the label of test chambers, written on the wall. Now, there's no light otherwise, so you have the flashlight, or if any of you have any particular vampiric persuasions to see in the dark, you can use those to look around more. However, right now, this is, well, you have to manually breathe, but it is time to breathe. You are safe for the time being. I, as storyteller, super duper duper promise you that for right now in this moment, you're safe. And you have a very, well, he's technically not naked because he's holding a 9mm gun. So Clyde is with you, and you are together. There's no ominous pounding on the doors. There's nothing else going on. It is a nice, cool room temperature, and I will bring this over now to you all after having set the scene. It's my turn to sit back and listen to you.
I suppose. Where I'm at now is, now that we're very well somewhat out of the way of danger at the moment, kind of sneaking around, I'm gonna keep heightened senses active. All the while sticking close to Ivy here. I'm feeling a little vulnerable considering that I'm well dressed with Smith and Wesson. So I'm keeping that pretty close to, the more squishy bits.
Rose will take off her jacket and offer it to Clyde. It's my
Ain't you
pledge.
Yeah, he puts it on and realizes the shoulders are, like, not big enough. And then he's like, wait a second. And ties it around his waist. Sorry, I'll get it dry cleaned. Promise.
If there ain't nothing to be said of a little modesty. So I'd end up presuming then this is Mr. Clyde met proper.
Yes.
Well, that ends up making half of our job done. Now it's just the delivery. Fantastic.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. Who's Clint
Mr.
Eastwood
Pitch.
over here?
This is Mr. Pitch. He was brought in to help us get you back. And destroy some of the evidence along the way.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet yours.
Can't end up
Look, this-
lollygagging too much. I suppose we need to end up making sure we end up constantly pressing on. As much as I would love to end up interacting in a way befit of court, I suppose now is not the time, nor are you tailored for such a venture.
Yeah, no, it's not. Look, big question. How the hell did y'all find me? In fact, where even are we?
Still figuring that part out. Shame to say, Mach 1 sensors have been disabled to end up incurring into this facility to extract you.
So they sent you in blind. Cool. All right. How the hell they expect us to get out if they sent y'all in blind?
Same way we got in. Blind luck.
We need to keep an eye out for Angel. He was supposed to be our ride out. But
That motherfucker. Damn it. I hate that guy.
I presume there's some history between you and little Guardian.
Uh-huh.
Fantastic. Will that complicate matters?
Hopefully not, and she's going to give Clyde a little bit of a look.
Well,
No.
assuming I'm clear on his loyalties and he's clear on his.
Is there a particular problem that is going to end up causing a rupture in this venture?
Last I checked, no the hell not. I want to go.
Fantastic. Then we're all in agreement. Any other concerns we need to end up making mention before we end up heading out yonder?
Oh, sir.
Fantastic. Also appreciate the matters, Mr. Clyde. Please. He gestures towards me. As if I recall, ST, we closed the door behind us in the facility that Clyde was sig on. The monster was on the other door, and we are now on a hallway here, down here, further into the, well, who knows, but this facility. The last time I recall.
You headed through a set of double doors. There wasn't a hallway. As the doors closed behind you, it is dark, and you lit up a sign, presumably right next to where you entered, that says test chambers. There's been no exploration. It was this thing was breaking into the lab, and you needed to get out, and you couldn't leave. You couldn't leave the lab the same way you came in, and so you went through the other set of doors that were in Clyde's special room, and so this is picking up. The doors closed behind you, and here you are.
Well, no way to go but forward. I take a quick look around. Test chambers. In a Second Inquisition, as I can tell, facility implies a few things, and I can only imagine as to what they would have been testing. Given Clyde's close proximity, I can only end up making a few assumptions. Clyde, you have any forewarning about this here?
Forewarning. What about this whole place, or just ahead?
He gestures the light towards the test chamber sign. Previous experience, perhaps.
I have some memory, not none. I'm gonna be honest.
Fantastic. All right.
Kept me pretty.
Well then, guess I'll take point then. And I will then. Perhaps, but seems the rest of you are far more suited to the dark. Still, let it never be said that I feared a venture where no dead had walked before. I will do so.
I will be right behind Mr. Pitch, just on my toes, ready to jump in the way of any danger that might come at him.
Yeah. Don't get ahead of yourself, blades and saddles. This place is armed.
That's the expectation. I also know remaining so is a death sentence.
Yeah, just give me a heads up.
Pleasure for the warning.
Clyde is going to also be pretty close behind. Probably take point guard in that instance, and make sure that he has heightened senses active at all times, just to make sure he is identifying any problems in immediate areas. If we hear a siren start going off and blaring again, he's going to turn that off. I don't want to be busted.
Ivy's got heightened senses procced as well.
Okay. Whoops. All right. Well, you all you start walking. It's rather quiet. The little bit of light that is coming from the lead here is showing a metal wall. So you're hugging a wall in the dark. It's something. So it might be better to like show that you're arranged like this. Like there's a wall over to your side.
Okay. So, look, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it feels a little weird that they just send y'all out just for me. I don't know, maybe.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, last time I checked, the tower was a little bit more sacrificial of our fledgling types.
Well, don't discount that idea just yet. more proper might end up having to do with what you end up knowing. Is there any particular reason that the tower might not just want to end up leaving you behind? More importantly, something that you might know that they're worried that your current captors they may have been more curious about?
He peeks over to Ivy. I don't know. Do we? I don't know.
The entire incident that happened a few months ago, but it's the only thing that sticks out to me.
And if that is the case, then what we end up having here is they're not so much worried about your well-being so much as wanting to get an accurate understanding as to what you may have told them, overtly or covertly.
There were a lot of
Otherwise,
interesting machines, at least in the scrap part of this facility. You remember, Mr. Pitch?
especially when it ends up coming down to their medical applications, a curiosity, to be sure.
I mean, like mosquitoes, you saw. Look, something was messed up about that stuff.
Any of the particulars you care to share, Mr. Clyde?
There's a few things. I don't got names. I just have memories of types of people came through. I have ideas of some experiments that happened. They did a whole bunch of weird stuff to me. They tried to figure out what kind of religious symboly worked on me. Tried to figure out what was superstitious, what was scientific. I remember blood that they were pumping in me, or at least I think it was blood. Something was messed up about it. It was you know how you gotta, in order to get that feeling to go away. It did it for me. It did that. And I don't know what that necessarily takes to do that.
I can take a guess, but it'll be only that. Still, doesn't get us anywhere close to out of this chamber, so.
No. Some
And go ahead.
people I was gonna say some people I think. Again, I don't have names. I just remember a yes ma'am kind of lady, scientist of some kind.
Fantastic.
Sergeant. Sergeant something.
Well, it's more to go on than my previous venture, so we'll end up being grateful for the small things. And I continue to end up going forward as we're having this converse, because I really don't see any evidence that we're within earshot of anybody.
Yeah, sound is not particular. It's a little bit of an echo, like from where you're at against the wall, and just shining the light across. The light on a burner phone's not exactly, it's not some million candle, survival thing or whatever, but
Certainly not.
it's not able to see the other side. The sound isn't particularly echoey, though this is a metal wall that you're still following. In fact, while you are in this moment where you can reconcile things, Mr. Pitch, is you're an idea guy. You got a couple dots of intelligence you can rub together. for the phone, there is no signal here, which is probably not unexpected.
No, certainly not. Probably some form of shielding or something here specifically to limit telecommunications outside of the interior of this facility. Probably on its own network, if I had to end up guessing. Everything meant to be internal, nothing supposed to be leaked out. It makes it a lot harder to end up finding this place by accident. A lot of money ended up going into this place, so well funded. We also end up having a lot of material they were just willing to end up throwing into an incinerator. Means that they end up being funded by something large. Curious on that one. Fact is that they ended up spending so much time with Clyde. I ended up thinking they might have ended up pulling some useful data. Didn't find anything on the computers that thus far, but we are still going forward. If I had to end up making a guess, though, that thing in the lab, or that thing that ended up chasing me down the hall, that thing ends up telling me a little bit. I've ended up seeing how they're armed, how they've maintained. There is nothing, as far as I have seen, that ends up producing that, implying that we are not the only ones who have an interest in coming into this facility. I don't believe that it's Camarilla in origin. Else it might have been incredibly useful to end up telling us of such. I have my theories, but I don't want to end up jumping to any conclusions. Thus far, I know this. It doesn't care about Second Inquisition, nor does it care about camp. All are on the menu for that thing. It's also big enough that it's eating up most of the hallway. And very indiscriminate in its particulars when it comes down to its murderous feeding habits. Don't know on how they could have come up with something like that. So I'm going to end up presuming, until shown otherwise, exterior factors. If it's an exterior factor that ended up creating it, what do they want with this particular facility outside of its destruction? A lot of curious elements to be juggled. But thus far, gotta end up here keeping a head in the game. Time for questions comes later. Right now, survival and maintaining the Masquerade take priority, and not necessarily in that order.
Very good ideas. And in fact, since you are in the mood to think and connect dots, and now, mind you, you have Clyde, who's been captive here for a while, Ivy, whose profession is a forensic scientist, might have questions to ask or be able to, rebound some ideas that are thrown out there, or come up with things from Clyde's answers. Rose, I mean, whatever you might be personally curious in, some of the stuff about the minutia of the science, or this is all very new to you, but it's not like you don't have a say in this, because right now you're in a large metal room that you're finding your way out of. Though I will say that as you're investigating, you're putting some things together, I do need all four of you to make a humanity check, please.
That's an unusual one.
It is.
Presuming. So this is just a typical remorse check in that regard?
This is just roll your humanity. I'm not looking for. I'm not looking to see how remorseful you are in that regard. We're not talking about like you've broken a tenet of the Chronicle or something.
2.
Okay. Of course, kindred biology is a little weird. You have an adrenal gland, though it doesn't exactly function the way that it does, but in the sense of timing, after this initial rush has worn off, you've been walking for a while. Not like an hour or anything. You've just been walking for a bit. Nothing's jumped out. Nothing's really happened besides just this quiet, cool dark. All of you at the same time are just you're just hit with a disorientation. Ivy, you are still conscious, but of everyone, well, you know what? It's good that Clyde's next to you, because maybe you stagger a bit, and he can act all heroic and, and catch you for a moment. All of you understand that was that feeling of oncoming torpor from day sleep. However, Mr. Pitch, you have a device that can tell you that information. And you see that today is April 8th. This is a couple days after the night that you reported for duty. And on top of that, it's noon. Now, maybe your phone is broken. I mean, you did fall down a something. It probably has a ding in it. You can give it to Ivy to look at, I suppose, if you want. But according to your phone, it's April 8th and it's noon.
Ivy,
Yeah?
ma'am, would you be kind enough to take a look at this? Tell me if there's anything amiss here. See if you notice something I did.
Sure.
He kind of offers the phone, then places his hand on his head like he suddenly got struck with a major headache.
She's going to take a look at the phone, see if anything got messed up on it.
Sure. Int tech. Not hacking, though.
I figured as much. Well, that's not bestial.
No.
For that.
That's pretty good, though. All right. Seems to be fine. I think probably has a crack in the screen, but it's it's whatever, a solid plastic burner phone. Took a hit pretty well. Lights working. There's clearly no signal, but things respond as you would expect it for this particular maker model. Tech seems to be working. Battery's at about half, but, well...
Flashlights on the phone are going to drain the battery.
It is a future concern. But as far as you can tell, I mean, maybe something got bonked, and it's not like you can crack open the case right here and look at the soldering, or that the internal battery didn't get jostled and reset the phone or something. But you also see, Ivy, that this is April 8th and it is currently noon.
Well, nothing seems wrong with it. Not programming, at least, and I don't have any of my tools or anything to crack into the case to make sure that that's all fine, but it seems to be in working order, and she's gonna hand the phone back.
So other than that, ain't much to end up here seeing then.
Mm-mm.
He extends his hand to take back the phone.
She hands it over.
Doesn't explain the date change, though.
Date change? Hold on.
According to this, we have been in here for, did I hear that right? 2 days now? And it's currently noon?
Yep.
What?
Oh yeah,
Look.
Clyde. Clyde's been out a little bit longer.
Yeah, Clyde, you would be seeing the current date.
Oh, I've been here for a whole year.
All four of you also see a very familiar looking sign on the smooth metal wall that says test chambers.
What the hell?
Well, moving on for a bit. What the heck could they be testing in here? You see any apparatus or anything like that that might end up letting us know exactly what they were testing in here?
I don't know. Maddie, do I?
To either of us.
Do I have any memory of this?
You remember, well, you certainly know yes, ma'am, but she was a lot more personal, and you were often looking up at her from where you were restrained. This, you don't really remember a dark area like this or a sign that says test chambers. Nothing's coming to mind currently. It certainly it seems plausible, given what you do remember, that there would be chambers and that there would be tests conducted in said chambers. But this in particular is not. It's not getting anything going up here.
Huh. I, I, I don't remember anything like this.
Mr. Pitch, Ivy, you said it's noon, and I do feel sleepy. Wasn't there an eclipse that was supposed to be happening? Is that why we're awake right now?
Wouldn't make sense for the time disparity if there is one. And as
That's
far
not supposed to
as
happen for like another couple hours, as far as I'm aware.
well, we may have missed that. So, that being said, we're only working off of theory at this point, and doesn't change any of the situation at this exact point in time. Might I end up suggesting we end up pressing forward and end up keeping ourselves in a observational mindset. If more pieces need to be put together, then we'll do so. Till then, serves more as distraction than anything else.
Mr. Pitch, could you humor me for a second and point your phone at the ceiling?
He does
'Cause
so.
I had a thought occur to me, and she's gonna take a look at the ceiling. Is there anything like off about it? Like, would it be able to split open or anything like that?
It has the same metal panels that the wall has consisted of. It does look like it domes up and away into the darkness that is beyond the phone's ability to throw light.
Okay, maybe that's just my paranoia kicking in.
Nah.
Do we
No,
have-
you wouldn't do that.
Do we have any sense that, like, we might be deep underground? Or is it just too difficult to tell with just being in a building?
Oh, from what Mr. Pitch told you, like you fell, and the falling is what jostled the steak out of his heart and allowed him to rescue you before you turned into toast. So presumably
I just
you're
wasn't-
underground.
I wasn't sure if, like, we'd climbed up at all.
Unless it was a very slight ramp, the hallways have seemingly been flat, like 90-degree angles. Everything is OSHA compliant.
Well then, if we're stuck under here for the next little bit, I don't intend to make myself cozy. So, take a moment to reconnoiter. Any particular thoughts or any concerns that we must end up having at this exact point in time? That would end up that we can end up removing in order to end up securing the gold that we have been brought down here for.
We need to keep an eye out for computers to destroy evidence. I also had a thought earlier when you mentioned the incinerator. They seem to be maybe worried about covering their tracks. So maybe there's a oh shit button and some sort of thing that will self-destruct this facility if as a failsafe. Maybe something worthwhile to keep an eye out for.
Fair assessment, if not a little bit crude, but I appreciate that. Well done.
Gee, thanks.
Ivy, anything from you?
Not offhand. She's just studying the walls and the ceiling still as much as she can. Still mulling over that thought she had.
Fair assessment.
All right.
So, with that in mind, I guess then we end up here moving forward.
Is there any ventilation?
There does not feel to be any moving air, and as far as you've seen, there has not been any kind of a vent or a grate, or even a drain in the floor. Good question, though.
Huh. Yeah, well, we'll just continue forward until we see any sort of change in the environment.
Sure.
Or another set of doors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or the same doors.
At some point, if we keep going through the same set of doors, Clyde is just going to start walking backwards.
No doors, though. No, that would be a good idea, too. No doors, though. After you pass by the test chamber sign again, it's clear that there's a slight curve to this very large room, and that sort of fish in a bowl, if you were to believe this sign, you've now made 2 laps around it. In your time walking and talking and
Randy,
such.
did we find ourselves in the middle of a giant hadron collider? Is that what we found ourselves in?
When I turn you into a miniature black hole, then you'll have your answer.
Fair. Okay. But we've only been going around this, like, for a few minutes, like maybe a half hour tops, right?
I would say that this has been with you at a Mosey, to localize it for you from Texas, at a Mosey. It's taken you about 15 minutes to walk around the perimeter. So yeah, I'd say it's been about a half hour. It's about 12:30 right now.
Okay, why would they end up having a spiral circular test chamber?
I'm going insane. I can't stand this place.
Yeah, but if you have a test chamber, usually it's designed with a purpose. So what's the purpose of they're building it as one big cylinder?
I don't know, a racetrack or something? Damn!
Clyde is going stir crazy.
Well, I don't like looking at the same shit all day, every day, okay?
For the 2 that have your senses enhanced, it is very bright right now.
Oh!
God.
I'm in trouble.
as there is a central light from somewhere up in the dark of the dome. And the light, well, the light is shining into the middle. Though even that beam isn't filling the entire place with light. But it is something. Just with a loud kind of circuit breaker light turning on sound effect, ka-chunk. A very bright light. An unnatural light. It's not giving you creepy crawly this is the noonday sun being funneled in. But the middle of this very dark chamber is illuminated.
Is there anything we see in particular in this? Because as I understand, we've been making our way on the outside of the chamber at this point.
There's
right?
nothing in particular, but you have been going around the outside, yes.
Alright, so. But that means we could walk straight across if we wanted to.
Yep.
Just to be clear. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so not exactly a tube then. Alright. It's all coming together. I'm looking at the light because now that I'm seeing this as a major test chamber, I'm looking for something maybe along the ceiling or the higher up on the walls now that it's more illuminated. And I'm looking for something that's let's say something that can dig a hole about 10, maybe 15 by 15 right through the metal. Because that could end up showcasing something that may have gotten out, in which case I would have to reassess the situation. Because this place looks big enough to end up housing that thing.
All right. Are you walking? You're walking towards the light then, or are you still wanting to stick around the outside?
I'll walk towards the light.
Are the rest of you following Mr. Pitch, or do you want to stay in the relative safety on the edge of this room?
I just follow. She's curious.
Fall right behind. I am gonna deactivate the heightened senses now that there is this horrific blaring light in my eyeballs.
Yeah.
I'll
Same.
follow along, but I want to look. Do I see any points of observation? Are there windows or cameras where people might be able to view us here in this room?
Nothing that is obviously observable as such.
That's a funny way to say there might be.
So there might be, but nothing that you can see.
Oh.
Like there's not a little whirring device with a blinking red light or anything on it.
You know, I hear that if you ever go to a B&B, you gotta shine your little phone camera up and on all the little grooves and bits, and if you see red light there, that means it's a camera. He's like giving tips.
Well, in the middle, in the light, there's no vehicle, excavator, or otherwise. Nothing else is apparent here. Although with you having made your way now and standing in this spotlight, there is another light, and then a second light, a third, 20, 50, 100, as the entire chamber begins to light up.
Well, are we in a furnace? Are we gonna get blasted?
There is no evidence of ash or burn marks on the metal plates. It seems to be fairly clean. Very, very sterile environment.
Do I recognize this particular location?
Clyde, I will say, now that you see it lit up as such, and you see the vastness of this room, there is this sense of danger. That there's not a specific memory, but you have been in here. There were things that you were doing in here, but the specifics of it are not coming to mind right now.
This place ain't no good.
Bam, bam. 2 klaxons go off, or 2 blasts of one, and from yellow will work. From the side, some of the metal parts and a cage, a very low cage. It's probably better to call it a low-walled pen comes out. And it looks like there are some leather straps on the bars of this thing, though there does not appear to be a person or anything else. Though, Clyde, in the back of your mind, some sort of like reward stimuli is going off.
No.
For
No, I ain't about this.
For any of you who are pop culture fans, this might remind you of the goat from Jurassic Park. Although the question of where's the goat applies. And it pulls back into the wall, and the steel plates cover this up.
Well, ain't that just interesting? Mr. Clyde, what exactly are you not about at this current moment?
We're rats in a cage, man.
Despite all your rage.
They put people in there. They beat them like it's some kind of fucking fishbowl. Something. Oh, they use me like some kind of guinea pig. It's like a pet.
A woman's
collared.
voice. While you're struggle busting through this, Clyde, you're welcome to do so. A woman's voice, a digital one, but a very familiar one to you, Clyde. Very proper sounding. Some people might call her ma'am. Test 1 will now begin.
You bitch!
Fair.
Does it sound more automated than anything else?
Yes.
I will make a note for everyone else. Clyde is like... he's like shaking. He's so angry at the moment.
Take a step to the left.
Endurance test 1 will now begin. And
Fuck you!
Now there is the sound of some kind of ventilation. And there's a kind of a hissing sound along with a thrumming from somewhere. Nothing is coming out of anywhere.
You end up saying that we could see some ventilation
Yes.
that popped up. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
Wonderful.
at the top of the very top of the dome.
well,
I
if that's the case. Proceed to pull out my handkerchief. Pull out a small Zippo lighter. Because always good to end up being able to light a cigarette for the ladies and cigars for the host. And give it a light. Fold it up. Toss it up.
Mr. Pitch.
For the express purpose of igniting this before it fills the room, if it does turn out to be flammable.
An excellent
Best-
idea. However, you are having a very tough time. Your lighter should be working.
No oxygen in the room. Fascinating. Huh. Closes it up. Pockets it. Well, that is unfortunate.
I need
I
all
would
four of you. Oh, go ahead. Yep. What
I
would
was
you like
gonna
to
ask if I could try. Clyde, if it's possible, Clyde would be able to try and climb up to the top of the chambers to access that ventilation.
This, unless you have like claws or a lift machine or something, climbing up a rather smooth, like, because you'd be going up and around and you'd be going upside down along the top to get to it.
Claws, you say? Do
If
we have
you
a
have a
gang
way
filled with
to
claws?
penetrate steel, that might work. But otherwise, this is a fairly smooth surface. Like, you are inside. You're inside a squished sphere. So to get to the top, you'd be needing to traverse up and around smooth, like a smooth surface.
Okay, well, Clyde's probably just angrily pistol whipping the wall.
That's perfectly understandable. I need all four of you to make just pure stamina, please.
Great stamina, nothing else?
Yep.
Okay. That is... No other... Oof.
2.
Oof.
Okay.
One success.
All right. Clyde, another clue for you. As you go to pistol whip, everything in here starts sounding off. And you swear that you are swinging this 9mm against the wall, but it's hardly making any noise. And on top of that, something in your eye it stings. Now, all four of you feel really weird. You're feeling kind of distended or bloated. This is probably nothing, though, that you've experienced before.
We're in a anti-pressure chamber, right? Cool.
I didn't say that.
Oh no!
But
Oh, we're
maybe
gonna
Ivy,
pop
your
the
med
wrong
tech,
way.
can confirm that for you if she wants to do something about this.
Yeah, Ivy's definitely trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Sure.
Oh shit! While Ivy's doing that, Clyde, is he the wall, when he pistol whips the wall, is there even a dent?
I'll say that there's scratches. If you want to go for denting, then
I'm shooting it.
Then I will give the allowance that you're hitting something so hard, but this would be damaging the gun. So it's your choice. If you want to hit it that hard, you are wielding a piece of metal, but that piece of metal also needs small parts to work and things to be in alignment. That could be in jeopardy if you're pistol whipping a metal wall.
Well, I mean, I imagine a bullet has more momentum and velocity to make that kind of pierce than anything Clyde can do with his race car driver arms. So
okay. All right.
I'm thinking I'm gonna shoot the wall in the same place a couple times and see if that pokes a hole.
Clyde, you pull the trigger. There's a kind of a sound, and the bullet just kind of like almost dribbles out the front of your gun.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Assessment, please.
As you try to speak, Mr. Pitch, there's nothing coming out of your mouth. There's no sound. And even that distant that's also starting, it sounds really far away, and
well then. And if that is the case, gesturing specifically, I'm going to end up gesturing specifically to... Oh no, that wouldn't work based off what I've seen so far, so... That's... Okay, don't have a burn there. 9 mil. 9 mil didn't even activate.
While you're calculating that, Ivy, if you look as you look over to Clyde, he must have just had some blood vessels in his eye pop. One of his eyes is absolutely, like, it is red. And everything in your all's bodies are feeling really, really weird right now.
Based on what she's seen and experienced, does she know what's going on?
Make a medicine. Int medicine will help determine this.
And I assume pathology isn't going to...
Not pathology in this instance, no.
Yep.
Maybe in something else, but not right now. Oh, look at that. Yeah, you are in a giant vacuum chamber, Ivy. And if this keeps up, all four of you are going to boil alive as the pressure drops to a point. Well, at least you should normally. Vitae might be a little bit different than blood. But as the pressure continues to drop, theoretically, you all are going to start boiling inside your own bodies.
Rose would like to head over to where Clyde was banging on the metal panel and see if maybe I can't get like my fingers into like a seam or something and just start pulling. Or if anyone has like a knife or something, maybe I can shimmy it in there and pop something.
Well, I don't think anyone has a knife in particular. I don't think that was in any of your all's bug out bags, was it?
No.
Yeah. If unless you have a way to manufacture a pry or something, you can pound on these, or you can think of something else. You're welcome to go over there and also try and contribute.
A pry? Pry is what you need?
Something that can let me get my fingers in behind this panel.
I need all 4 of you to make another stamina, please.
You're not gonna like what I'm about to do.
Bring it.
Big question to you, Blue Jay. How confident are you in Rose's strength?
She's not crazy strong, but she's better at grappling people than she is at sheer strength.
God, I am not. I've gotten zeros on all of these stamina checks.
Oh.
All right. Clyde, I want you to take 1 superficial damage here, as some more internal structures inside of you are rupturing in this vacuum.
All right, you're not gonna like this. No one's gonna like this. And Clyde puts his own forearm underneath his foot, and he's gonna tear off his own arm so that he can make a makeshift pry bar out of his forearm for the group.
Okay.
You just hear this horrible as he just snaps his own arm and
Okay. Well, this is very unexpected, so I doubt anyone is necessarily going to, was already restraining
he's
you.
done. Look, he's done. This is just how he is. He has crazy solutions to problems.
Make a, well, you're not even doing, this isn't really medicinal. You're not trying to be an expert at this.
No.
I guess just strength brawl?
Fantastic. Okay. I'm gonna rouse.
Okay.
In the process of this, Ivy's going over, taking Mr. Pitch's phone and typing out the vacuum chamber on it and showing. Because they can't exactly speak in here.
Okay. Right.
And I don't have a lot of brawl at all. I have like none. So this is all just strength.
Okay. Pure strength. The, as you rouse the blood,
and I'd like to willpower 3 of those.
Well, Clyde, you, for whatever the internal machinations to your kindred biology, it's very easy for you to shift blood around in your body, considering it's fighting against wanting to be outside of it. So go ahead and I'm going to give you an extra 2 dice on this, as as you would normally like shift your blood around and move it. You're getting a getting a bit of a bonus here, because more than what you expected is flowing to where you are sending it. It's very easy to manipulate your blood in this circumstance.
Okay. Wow. All right. Then I guess I'm just gonna. I already rolled the initial roll, so I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm just gonna type it out.
Yeah, just an extra
2d10.
roll 2d10. Yeah. Oh, look at that.
And those two more successes. Will 3 cut it, or should I do more?
So Clyde, yeah, you are surprised in this moment. So breaking it down into play-by-play, you're in this continuing vacuum. You go to shift your vitae into your muscles as you are intending on taking your own arm off, and easily you can move this blood, and you are you are jacked right now because blood, it's the same blood, but it has just swollen to where it was sent. It was very, very
Okay.
easy for you to move it. So, whether or not that, I'm not saying you can't tear your arm off. You're in a better position to do so now than you were. But in a play-by-play, as you go to send blood, and you're also not in some half-lucid, state of being a hamster or a guinea pig, you just, you have, Popeye arms right now.
That's wild. Okay. And he just, he rips it off in the most, theatrical sense you've ever seen. Pulls out and, tries to tear away flesh enough so that you can use a bone. He just hands it to you like it's just a tool.
All right. I don't even know.
Bar.
I don't even know what this
How much damage is that, Maddie?
Yeah, so you're attacking yourself. I mean, you're not dodging or something, so this would just be you're taking that much damage that you dealt to yourself. So what, 3? And
yeah,
you're going for, I mean, you're not trying to get out of the way. This is purposeful, so I guess 3 ag damage because you're going for everything. I mean, you're willing to tear your arm off, so this isn't this isn't like playing around with a little scratch and you're trying to flick some blood on someone to distract them.
Okay.
All right. So the rest of you see Clyde just get arms that are just red, like purpley red, big Popeye arms. And he goes for your elbow joint, and you're trying to rip it off, or where are you hurting yourself?
Probably it's somewhere in between the elbow and the main forearm. The main thing he's looking for is just to be able to create enough of a point that Rose would be able to shift it in between the metal plating and use it as a pry bar.
Okay.
It's very makeshift, but it's the only thing we got at the moment, and Clyde is like, I don't want to die in here like this.
Okay.
Yep.
So the 3 of you see this just ripping his own flesh so that there's a self-made compound fracture here. As Clyde is trying to make himself into a Swiss Army tool here.
Ivy, you remember when he ate the duckling, the rubber ducky?
How are the rest of you reacting to this?
Ivy, having been through this before, the other 2 are just here, just...
That is a response of a very desperate kindred.
Also, Clyde, I'm sorry, real quick, your hunger goes up because blood is fleeing your body in this vacuum as well. Especially because you just pumped it into you. All right, I'm sorry, Mr. Pitch, go ahead.
Trying to think. It's fine to think.
I take the the limb that Clyde holds out to me. I just go, for fuck's sake, man.
No words come out, but I'm sure that your facial expression speaks volumes.
Easy to read.
Just get it done.
I want to was it rouse the blood or wake the blood to add
blood. Yep.
Yeah. So rouse check. Yay, success. And that gives me an extra 2.
And I'm going to give you an extra 2 on top of this because as you're shifting your blood, it flows very easily to where you're sending it.
So, what do you want? Strength and what?
Brawl, I guess. You're hitting a steel wall with a chunk of meat.
All right. Strength, and then +4. It's gonna be a lot of dice.
Roll it. Okay.
I'm gonna willpower that. I want to make sure I want this to succeed. 6 total.
Okay. You... strike a metal wall with a piece of wet bone and muscle. It doesn't make a splat sound because there's not enough air really for that to carry. Unfortunately, Clyde doesn't have adamantium bones. So you do a good job obliterating the arm.
Does it
probably
create
dents
enough of any sort of gap that I can like get my fingies in there and start pulling, even if I cause some damage to myself?
If you are willing to damage yourself, then sure, yes.
Yeah, I will. I feel like it's important enough that we get some sort of release to this pressure, that she's willing to let her fingers be torn up a bit to try and get in there and get some sort of gap.
Okay. Go ahead and take a point of superficial damage as you increase your hunger by 1 as blood flees your body through your ruined fingertips as you are trying to pry where this dent was made in one of the panels. I need the 4 of you to make another stamina test. All right, so we have Raven and Rose. But not Clyde here. All right. I guess Ivy and Rose. Each of you take 1 point of superficial damage as capillaries and things are starting to pop in your bodies. The other 2 of you are uncomfortable. Clyde, I just presume that you, like, I don't know, you're so upset or so tense, or you're like pinching off your stump that more blood isn't fleeing you right now. You're very tense. You're gonna keep
roiding out and willed his arm to heal or something.
Okay. I think I got a solution.
And there's a eventual hum, and then a hiss, and all of you are starting to feel, I don't need a check or anything, you're feeling very disoriented. It's a very good thing that you're not living human beings, because this would ruin your body. That same voice is coming through. It sounds a little distant, but it seems that there's more air filling the chamber again. Something. It repeats, this time a little bit more clear. Endurance test over. Proceeding to next test. Strength test number 2. Begin.
I'm mad.
Now, one of the panels was damaged, and it does make a weird kind of scraping sound as the walls begin closing in to make the room smaller and more like a cylinder than the inside of a squished beach ball.
Okay. Just when you think you got something figured out. Now I can hear myself. I can speak now.
Mm-hmm.
The room has received its fair share of air at this point.
The endurance
Ah.
test ended, and it reventilated.
Let's take a look here. Assessment. So now the boat out nail walls have now kind of reconfigured to be straight, making this place more of a cylinder,
Yes.
which is currently enclosing. Do I understand that correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
It would be a cylinder around the central part.
Okay. Um.
I'm gonna let
Clyde.
Mr. Pitch continue, but Rose wants to do something as the panels are shifting and moving, but come back to me.
Okay.
By all means, take it away. This is your spotlight.
As the panels are shifting and moving, she wants to try to use her feral whispers to reach out for any rats in the area. Figure rats are pretty ubiquitous in most places, and see if I can't get some rats to show up and maybe, even if they're on the other side of the panels, like maybe help us out in some way.
Especially up there on the other side of the panels.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Clive, your firearm, please.
He hands you the arm that he broke off.
I said your firearm.
Oh. Yeah, he hands you the gun.
Yeah. He pulls it out, ejects the mag, slips out 3 bullets out of it, flips it, racks it, hands it back to Clive with 3 bullets left. Which one of you has a bit of understanding of mechanics?
I suppose that might be me with 3 tech, 3 science.
3 tech, 3 science. Did I hear that right? Okay. He ends up handing them over to. He hands them over to Ivy. Moving parts leave a little bit of room to be able to end up making stuff get mashed in. Make sure it's wherever you can end up finding cylinders. I don't care if it's hydraulics or anything like that. Enough pressure, squibs will go off on their own. Bullet ends up going, might end up causing enough damage to be able to halt a portion of the wall. At the very least, jack up the test chamber a bit. It's amazing what happens when you end up putting a bullet inside of a, well, press. We're doing the same damn thing.
She's gonna see if she can find any such spot to put these bullets.
Nice part about moving parts, you can always use them against it.
Yep.
Okay. Let's... You're looking... I guess this would be a wits investigation?
This would probably be a wits tech
Wits
trick. It's technology. We're currently dealing with hydraulics.
Yeah,
or something akin to it.
I take a wits tech. Not hacking, but...
Okay. Yeah. I am actually gonna rouse for this.
The vacuum bonus does not apply.
Yep, I know. Down for that real fast. And let's do... Four. You know, I got the willpower. I'm gonna willpower that last 2.
Okay.
Hey, one more added in.
5 successes.
If you have the strength to do so, maybe you could jam in a bullet between some of these panels.
Not me personally, but I think I know someone who does.
But we're
She's
also
gonna-
talking about a bullet versus these hydraulic panels as well, so the results, we'll see. It'll do something. Like, this is throwing a wrench in the works, in a sense. How effective, we'll have to find out.
If you need an
She's gonna-
athletics check, I have athletics. I just don't have brawl.
How much strength do you have?
2. 3 in athletics.
Rose, what's your strength athletics?
Oh,
You're muted.
muted.
2 strength, no athletics.
Okay.
It is.
Clyde, it is.
The armless wonder strikes again.
Ivy is going to hand the bullets to Clyde and point out each position to put them in. And how.
I hold the severed arm out to Clyde. You want this back?
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I can use that like a plunger. Jam things in there.
Several loud metallic clanks
Got Mr. Pitch. Like,
echo in the diminished now cylinder that you're in, and the walls cease constricting. Now, Clyde, you're holding 3 bullets in your arm.
there's a panel that was slightly ajar. I imagine that might be a location.
There is. Tell you what, roll a d10, and I will give you the classic Derek 50-50. If you roll high, it's in your favor, 6 to 10. And one of those panels is the ones that were pushed in to form the cylinder around you.
Roll a d10. Oh, gosh. I imagine you're the one choosing the high or low then.
Yeah, just if it's a high number, you have good luck. It's in your favor. That's the panel that your arm was putting in work. Close.
Why?
It unfortunately didn't
God
make the
hates me.
pinch because only not the entire room didn't constrict into this, but the panel that you had damaged isn't. Now,
Alright.
there's a machine sound. Something's starting up. And nothing in the tube seems like it's moving. Though now all of you are starting to feel a force pulling against you.
Did anything happen with the Feral Whispers?
Is that something that you are... beyond just wanting to talk to rats, I don't know what Feral Whispers does. So you have to tell me a little bit more here.
I can try to summon some local creatures. I have to specify a type when I do, so rats. I roll charisma and animalism, and the number of animal summons depend on how well I do on that roll. And then I can ask them to do minor services. So, for example, the difficulty depends on the task required. The examples given are having a bird keep an eye out for anyone entering a park at night would be a difficulty 3, while ordering an animal to defend a place with their lives is difficulty 6. I would, let's see, charisma and animalism. Let me... Oh, there it is, animal kin. Ugh, 1 success. Probably not many rats show up then. Maybe just a couple. But with my Feral Whispers, I'll ask them to just start chewing any wires they can. Figure that's
Okay.
well enough within a rat's purview.
Then, while the observation of the panels is going on and such, you're here, Rose. You're reaching out, and this sense of yours goes black. Things you feel cold and slithery. You feel on some instinctual level a greater presence than the glimpse of the thing outside of Clyde's room that you got to see before the door was closed and tried to keep the thing out. And while there are no eyes that open up and glow in the dark or something, there are many gnashing mouths. And a feeling that you did get the attention of those mouths. For making contact with such an alien creature here, I would like you to make a remorse roll against your humanity. You certainly didn't contact a rat, Rose. Or if you did, maybe there's one in that thing. But there is something absolutely terrifying about this feeling, this contact that you made. And especially knowing that you made some sort of a, location ping for it.
I back away from the panels and I say, I think our mouthy friend might be somewhere nearby.
Well, considering where it was compared to where we were, I'd assume so.
I felt it.
You felt it.
Oh.
I tried to reach out to rats and I felt it instead.
I'm sorry, what? How?
Rose, well, I need all of
got
you
it.
to make a strength test. Just strength. We worried about stamina before. Just want a pure strength.
Ow.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, poor Clyde.
Oh.
Mr. Pitch, you are welcome to stand tall and proud, or you have a lot of freedom here in what's going to happen. And Ivy, you as well are still getting to stand tall. Though, Rose, as you try to move away, whatever that machine whirring and the forces that are applied against you, you and Clyde are pulled against the walls. As if you're stuck to them.
Just more angry screaming from Clyde.
And you can, there's plenty of air in here too.
It's not even pained, it's just frustrated at this point.
Should anyone be standing outside, they'd get that amazing Doppler effect of ah, ah, ah.
called G-forces.
Well, if that is the case, all right, now that I have a better understanding of what's going on, I am going to... This is enough force that Clyde is now stuck to the wall. Do I understand this correctly?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Which means now there's absolutely nothing stopping me from walking to the wall, walking up the wall towards the vents we were earlier talking about. Do I understand this correctly?
Ah.
You can walk up the walls. The vents are there but closed because they no longer need to suction out air. But you know where they were at as you're in a cylinder now. So if you have the strength and you think that you can walk up the walls, then you want to Batman 64 this and just you don't even have to use the rope, but
there is. Let's see here. I feel like there's something I'm really missing. Like this can't be this there airtight. And pardon the pun. I feel like I'm missing a key bit of information though. It's driving me up the wall. So, yeah, for lack of a better, actually, hold on. And okay, we have a strength test, endurance test. Next is gonna be speed. Next one's a speed test. So, with that in mind, yeah, I think for lack of a better idea, I am walking up, picking up Clyde's severed arm along the way as I walk past. I imagine Clyde looking at him like, what? I need that! Mr. Pitch just starts walking up the wall. Using the centrifugal force to end up substituting for gravity.
Ivy, you have not that the others can't pry themselves off the wall in this next round, but is there something that you want to do since you have a little bit more agency? Like you're not plastered to the wall in this
She's
case.
Following.
You're gonna
She's
follow by
following
Mr.
off
Pitch.
for any assistance she can give, since the other two are kind of stuck at the moment.
Okay. I want the four of you to make another strength test.
And this is where things go wrong.
Okay, I'm up near the vents. We are going to do another strength test. Damn. Okay. I am now pinned near the vent at the ceiling.
Well, Ivy can trudge past you. I don't know if you want to hand off the arm to her or something.
A hand off the hand, yes.
Some weird relay race, but so
Hold on. Clyde takes the full opportunity. Looks like the long march ended, ah!
Ivy, just don't make me.
You don't even have a response. I'm sorry.
No, it's just my typical witty responses. I can't do two to character. I will maintain that 3 etiquette at all times.
Mr. Pitch is now has not made progress, but is plastered against the side of the wall. Ivy is continuing to climb up towards the ceiling with Clyde's hand in hand.
I imagine just to be a little bit of a smartass, she's literally holding the hand as Clyde. Just for the smartassery of it.
Clyde looks like he's plastered against the wall still. And Rose, you can do something other than start to like feel your skin being pulled back as the centripetal force of this room is testing, well, what this would be a hell of a test for a mortal. You might be getting into the advanced stages. I can't hear what you're saying.
I'm going to
Oh,
just
there
hold
we go.
myself together and be prepared to potentially try to break the fall of Ivy and Mr. Pitch once this room stops spinning.
All right.
Definitely going to be doing the same specifically for Ivy. I will even rouse for fleetness in that regard.
The speed is continuing, and things are really it's having a weird effect on your all's bodies, but I would give me one more strength, everyone.
I would think that Clyde would be even somewhat used to the G-forces considering he's a race car driver, but all well. Such is life.
There's the fail.
There's my one success.
All right. Well, this does allow Clyde to unpeel and prepare for perhaps what's to come here. Though we do have Mr. Pitch, who's able to pull himself away, maybe to catch up, or to go up, or to go down, since you're at that midway point, Mr. Pitch. We do have Rose is able to do something as well, which I think was preparing for a great fall. But you all see Ivy at the top. Now, Ivy, you're there, and you're holding this arm. What was your intention?
She was gonna use it to try and open the vent. Specifically the pointy bony end.
Okay. In this instance, I'm happy with you succeeding at a cost. Though the cost would be imperiling yourself, as you are in a spinning room and you are looking to try to jam a fixed item into a machine that is causing magnitudes of G-force on you all. I'm fine if you want to do it, but I will impose a complication because of this.
I'll go for it. I'll take the cost.
Okay. Since you were already at the top, this is you just getting... You're peeling yourself from the wall to... And... there is a magnificent... Clyde makes a really good salsa. Did you know that? It's handmade, too.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, she did, actually. Remember, she was feeding off of him in the last scene, the Redeemer.
So... The part of Clyde is absolutely liquidated. And there is a machine-like groaning sound. You all do begin to feel less stuck to the wall, as there's a whoa, 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 whoa.
Rose is down at the bottom, like...
Go ahead, as Clyde and Rose were both willing to try and catch Ivy. The complication
Right.
is not so much an Ivy falling, but one of you can assist the other, as both of you were trying to. But give me a. Is this more of a speed test, a coordination here? I guess this would be a dex. If you're catching someone, using your hands, your arms. I guess dex brawl to
Dex
catch.
brawl.
Maybe because you're trying to you're trying to grab, right? But you
Yeah.
got to be quick about it.
I could see
All
that.
right.
If it's Dex Brawl and I can use grappling, I would have 7.
Okay. Yeah, grappling is fine.
Okay.
Cool. I'll let you lead the roll. I assist.
And that adds +1 for the assistance?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Oh, whoops. I need to add... Forgot to add, I need to add 2, not 1, because I have the bonus for brawling.
That's 4 successes. Pretty good.
Okay. The two of you catch. The two of you catch Ivy, preventing her from taking any kind of bludgeoning damage. Sadly, Mr. Pitch, no one was there for you, though you weren't also as far up. So, you have a bit of an indignant fall as you clatter to the metal floor.
Damn. Okay.
And the panels begin retracting back, but are shuddering as they're doing so. And not all of them are retracting at the same pace. There's grinding sounds. And
Ooh. The room is moving again?
yes, it's going back to squish
Okay.
beach ball.
Great. Fleetness active. Fleetness is active. I am running to all the panels that Ivy pointed out before, and I'm throwing those bullets at them.
Sure.
Is there anything I need to roll for that?
Yeah, wits perception, or wits awareness.
Wits awareness.
Yeah.
I actually have a good dice pool for that.
Roll it.
Click. Yeah, 4.
As you are having your Quicksilver moment, if you could catch time in a bottle as all these things are retracting and you are just running around and you're depositing these bullets, you see that this room is contained in some sort of...
Oh, wait. One more thing. I forgot. Fleetness, I can add my celerity rating from non-combat dexterity tests or defending. I forgot to add my celerity rating, so I would put 2 more dice in there. My bad.
For your awareness and wits?
Is that what it... Would this be part of the celerity?
It's part of what you're doing with it, so sure, go ahead.
Okay. I'll just roll the 2d10
Yeah.
right in there. And
Okay.
only 1 more success. So, it's 5 total. Yeah.
For sure, despite some of the jittering and juddering and things that are going awry since you were thrown into this, you are noticing that the entire room has some superstructure around it. Maybe some sort of like reinforced concrete or something. And that there are other vents and things that are facilitating, of course, the lights in the panels. But you are noticing a lot of signs painted on the concrete that would be normally in the space between the panels and whatever this super shell to the room is. And all of those signs have the radioactive symbol. And something about danger, radiation, ventilation, and I'm gonna mute the current music and play something. It won't play through Roll20, so
Okay.
you'd have to listen through the channel.
As Clyde's going about, he does call back to Mr. Pitch and Ivy. Hey, does radiation hurt us?
Warning. The thermal sequence has been activated.
The thermal
Every
sequence has been
containment
activated.
zone will be overheated to 500 degrees Celsius.
Thermal?
The containment zone will be heated to 500 degrees Celsius.
In T-minus 2
In
minutes.
T-minus 2
All
minutes.
heavy containment zone elevators have
And a
been
warning
locked
siren
down.
begins playing
Please
inside this
evacuate
room.
the zone immediately.
So, just to be clear, bullets have effectively done nothing.
They'll probably make little pops as the hydraulics pull back into this weird state.
Yeah. Can't get back to the vents. Place is opening up. Clyde couldn't get measured.
Clyde did
And there's
see...
nothing-
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's alright. I'm just trying to ascertain the situation.
There was a part of the structure that wasn't shifted or moving. Clyde. As a part of the panels and such,
Okay.
I can't call it a corner because it's a dome shape. There was one part that was seemingly fixed. Well, I guess technically two, since one would have been the entrance. But there was a second one as well. Now, you're welcome to come back down from being a speedster and share this. Let me clear this. Because it looked like there was a tunnel over here. Now, the tunnel, though, is sealed. But we can say that there was a, if this was your entrance in, there was a second one as well.
Now 500 degrees.
This is currently
This has been
sealed.
visible to us the entire.
You would have seen,
Has this
as you were
been
going
visible
up
to
into
us the
the...
entire time?
No, you
No?
went up
Okay.
into the panels to put the bullets in. You saw that
Okay.
there was a superstructure behind the panels because you were, like, whatever, Legolas jumping off falling blocks or whatever, right? You're doing speedster stuff. You saw that not only does this seem like some sort of heat ventilation is going to come in, and of course the warning is going to tell you that in 2 minutes, well, less than that now, this place is going to become 500 degrees Celsius. But there are two fixed parts of this room that exist, that didn't squish down when it became a centripetal, like a gravity spinner. And it didn't have anything to do with the ventilation for gases going in or going out. That was your original entrance in. And you remember that there was something here that would pop out of the side.
Oh, the feeder. Okay, all right.
Containment zone
All right. The
500
door.
degrees
There's a door.
Celsius in T-minus 2 minutes.
I was going around putting in the bullets in all the places.
Elevators have been
I saw the
locked
feeder.
down.
The
Please
feeder's still there. It ain't
evacuate
changing with everything.
immediately.
Possible to get into it?
I don't know. I don't know if we have any other choice at the moment than to try.
T-minus 19 seconds. Please evacuate.
Rose would go over where he indicates and start pulling at panels.
So as the room is going back to normal, you could get behind the panels before they all are back into place. Though that might get very hot or very squishy. But there is this tunnel, there is this feeder that as things are moving back, you can see that there is this fixed but closed tube where the feeder cage would come in. Nothing has happened with the entrance, though that is also there. But Clyde, you have been in here, you have been tested. This is bringing back some very unfortunate memories. But this is a test chamber, not a murder you chamber, because that could have happened many, many, many times over. I know that you have a raging hate-on for Yes Ma'am, but she has always been fair to you.
Fair?
Well, maybe in her opinion. You're welcome to be indignant, by the way.
I am indignant. Nothing about this is fair. All right. Well, from what I remember, what is the best way straight to her? Because at this point, she ain't just put my life on the line. She ain't just fucking with me. She's fucking with everyone else here.
Well, it is a robotic voice of hers that has been talking to you all and is giving this countdown and such. But as she always told you what she was doing, she did value communication, apparently in that way. You are welcome to communicate back to her, or perhaps this proxy of her. All you have to do is ask.
Clay. I hate this. Clyde goes over to the feeder door and bangs on it 3 times. He's gonna look up to the ceiling or wherever he thinks he's heard the voice before.
Shifting back, yeah.
Let us act! Come on now, we don't want to be crisped.
A minute remaining. Most of the panels are back. There's some weird, some hydraulic fluid pouring in. It's not 500 degrees, but it's getting a little warmer in here. As there's, I guess maybe some of these heat vents are starting to route something into the room.
Damn it.
Something about
God,
being
all right,
civil, Clyde.
It's not about civility at this point anymore. Let me look at it. Never back down from a challenge. This is definitely a challenge.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm breaking a conviction for this.
Okay.
Look, have what you will with me, but please Ma'am, let my compatriots go. Open one of these doors and let them out.
Testing error. Testing error. Do you require feeding?
He looks back and forth. Yes, yes.
Are you a man or a monster? 30 seconds left. It's getting hotter.
Monster!
Panels continue pulling back.
Man!
What do you what do you say? 10 seconds left. It's getting very warm in here.
Please.
Ah, you did say the magic word. Nedry would be proud. The feeding box jitters open slightly, but in the mix of the panels, it can't. Some of them start to part, and the slide with the half cage is banging against it. 10 seconds left.
What do I gotta do to open this thing?
You could just
Is
try and
there-
squeeze through.
Is there enough of a gap to like force like at least Ivy and Mr. Pitch through?
There's enough that you might be able to get through it without any problems, except it might tear some buttons off your coat. But
No.
Yeah, I'll grab whoever is nearest to me and shove them in and follow through.
yeah, let me take a look here. Let's make this I wouldn't say exactly this. This might be larcenous. I would allow for a Dex larceny, maybe a Dex athletics, as you all are trying to squeeze through this with your remaining 10 seconds before everything starts getting very, very, very hot.
Dex athletics? Okay.
I'm so
Okay.
screwed.
Alright, what are we doing?
Well, you did call a speed test was next.
I did say that I was helping people, so if it looks like anyone's struggling, like I'll grab them and start pulling.
Well, let's see. Okay.
Okay, athletics decks.
Sure.
Sorry, I had to step away for a moment because puppy.
That's fine.
Other thing.
Okay. With that, nothing more than well, perhaps you did lose a button on the way out there, Mr. Pitch, but with the others, they're able to pull you through into this little cage area. Now, obviously, the front isn't gonna hold back 500 degrees pouring in from, I guess, a nuclear reactor or something, given what Clyde had discovered. But obviously, if something can go in here, something can leave, and you do all make your way out. Now, before we get up, and we will take a stretch break.
Clyde's gonna kill her.
Whoops. You climb out through this area here. And beyond, I guess, going back in and trying to break into an area that's flooded with superheated air, maybe even radiation. If you are to go this way, it's an area that says personnel. If you are to go this way, you have an area that says information, like computer lab. And so, having escaped being burnt for the test zone being breached, you are here. But why don't we get up? Let's take 10 minutes or so, walk around, get a drink, and when we come back, you can let me know where each of you or all of you are going.